Yo, this is episode 146 of What's Up, Flobo? The show where we sit and chat, talk about what's going on in the world of Flobo 2. This episode, the other episode, is brought to you in part by StreamYard.com. I'm actually using StreamYard right now to stream this show, and I want you to use it too in 2021 to get your live podcast off the ground. Make sure you click that link in the description below so you can be part of the StreamYard crew. How's it going, everyone? I like to talk about this a lot because it's kind of a side passion of mine for different reasons. It's esports casting. I've gotten to it at full bore this year, or last year, 2020, and now it's rolling over to 2021. It started off as a pure hobby, as in, hey, look, I want to try this thing. Let's try it. And I loved it so much, and the feedback has been really good. I don't think there hasn't been a craft in my life that I've gotten so much positive feedback at first, to the point of like imposter syndrome. Like it can't win either way. Either you think you're so bad, you think you're trash, or you're so good you don't believe when people say you're great. So that's kind of the way it is. But even though now there is a push to make it a money-making thing, to make it a side hustle, I'm trying to keep it as a hobby as long as possible. It really is fun, especially in the game of Rocket League, to really give others the feeling that I give when I play. In fact, if you are someone who hasn't played that video game at all, but you downloaded it because I talk about it so much, because I've been playing it for 2 years, then I've done my job. I've communicated to 2 people. I'm just paraphrasing that Gene Roddenberry quote from Star Trek Discovery, end of season 3 that was mentioned this week. Okay, so what's today's topic about? Well, I was talking about the level of play among some colleagues, some casting colleagues, about the level of play in some of these games. See, not all Rocket League players or not all video game players are at the same level. And because of that, there are tournaments, there are games, there are structured leagues that have things separated by the very, very best players, those in the middle, and those at the bottom. And for those of you asking, I'm on the bottom. I am not that good player. I'm statistically average or slightly below average in Rocket League. I am a platinum 1 in that game. But those people at my level and below and above, they have games too. And we're talking about the differences of philosophy of casting them, or giving your commentary on those kind of matches. And I won't name names, I won't drop things, but there was a kind of a push, or I should say a philosophy of, hey, look, my style is I like to check out ways how teams can improve, and sometimes the lower levels are frustrating. And I get that. I get that if you are LeBron James and you have to get in the booth and talk about someone who's like in college, of course you're going to point out mistakes in the game. But here's the thing, and this is what my counterpoint was to you in this space, and I'll try to expand it to everything in life here. As someone who's at the lower levels of any kind of competitive play in this game, because I'm also an older player, I don't practice as much as I should, the feeling of being a hero on your team, because the team's pretty much level rank and you're playing opponents at level rank, is amazing. And when I go into the booth and I cast and I try to broadcast the game, I try to give the energy I would love to feel as if I was playing. I would love someone to say, oh my gosh, what a shot, when I did my shot at my level. You know what I'm saying? So to take another analogy, back to sports, imagine if you got one of the greatest sports casters of all time. I don't know if you are a Bob Costas or if you're a John Madden person. You told them, hey, look, cover this high school football game or cover this high school basketball game. Yeah, he can sit there and say, well, they don't have the stamina some of the NFL players. They should really work on that. But what fun is that? These high school kids are pouring their heart out on Friday afternoon. Adjust your expectations and give the people the presentation that they want. Because I'm sure if it's recorded, these high school kids are going to go back and watch and want to be felt as if they put the time they put into their craft as being shot in the field. So I adjust my expectations. When I do a high-level game, I try to be as the same as I do when I'm doing a lower-level thing. That's passion at all levels. And so I ask you this, I challenge you this. For those of you who are outside the video game space, you're like, Flobo, I don't care about sports or video games. Get to the point. Well, sometimes we can appreciate art and fine art, Picasso's and stuff. But when a child works 3 or 4 hours on a painting and you can tell the depth perception's all wrong, the colors are outside the lines, and the paper is falling apart, do you say this to the child? When someone is their first attempt, your best friend has always had a dream of opening a bar, for example, and they open the bar and the customer service is terrible because they were expecting the droves of people that were coming in safe and socially distant. Do you say, well, you should have got yourself a restaurant manager? You could, but you be that guy. There's nothing wrong with having passion and support for people. There's nothing wrong with being tactful with your criticisms. Just say, hey, in general, this is how you can improve your overall game. If someone buys a ticket to your show and they're the only person that buys a ticket, you give them the whole show. And that is something I learned in professional wrestling that has been advice for life. So it does you no favors to say, well, I'm used to higher levels. If I am used to 4-star hotels and I stay at my friend's apartment, do I say, well, where's your concierge? No. You say, thank you so much for housing me for free. This is what we do, man. This is how you spread the good, positive vibes. And sure, if some things happens at your friend's house and you're saying, you know what would be really beneficial is a hook for a towel, you can say that tactfully than to being, well, I'm not really feeling it because it's not the Hyatt. I'm not feeling my friend's new restaurant or bar because it's too crowded. Or this kid can't draw because I've seen Pablo Picasso and this ain't it. Come on, man. What's wrong with compassion? Compassion with passion. That's the key to positivity. That is it for me, man. Episode 146 of What's Up, Flobo. Oh, all the other episodes are available right here on youtube.com/FloboBoys. Tell a friend about the show. Tell a friend about the channel. And I'll be back here next week with more random things on my mind on What's Up, Flobo.